Hello and welcome to another gameplay. Today I'm playing Hunting Season, the mono green deck that was part of deck pack number 3 together with a Warsmith. And let's see here. Decent opener on the draw, so we'll draw some lands. Yeah, this is a keeper. So the theme of this mono green deck is counters and tokens. We've got a 3 doubling season in the deck, which is a pretty popular enchantment that says whenever you're about to put a creature token or a normal +1/+1 counter, you can double them. And yeah, if you've got doubling season in play, cards with Undying come back with double the counters. And we've got a few Undying creatures. We've also got some creatures with Scavenge. That was the mechanic from Return to Ravnica for the Golgari guild. And yeah, some nice synergies. Looks like we're playing against the original mono green deck, Hunter Strength. So this is gonna be an interesting match. Our curve isn't ideal. We have a few 3-drops, but we luckily drew one of them. And the game plan is basically trying to survive the early game, use the Undying creatures more defensively than aggressively, although this start is a bit the contrary. And then we should be able to drop a doubling season and win the game through that. Otherwise, we've got a value from Scavenge and other cards. I'm playing against a friend, and looks like no plays. Interesting. Maybe he's on a ramp version. Alright, so yeah, let's drop the Champion of Lamphold if you want to see what it does. Basically, it helps your creatures get through. It's not really part of the survive early game plan, but it's a good value creature, and it's basically our only 3-drop in the deck, so it's a curve filler and it's not a terrible card. Alright, so opponent at 14. This is gonna be a pretty quick game. Let's see. Well, if we don't draw a land, we can play our Vine Lasher next turn, get a +1/+1 counter on the champion. But a Vorapede is gonna stabilize the game. Let's see. Can't block creatures, you can. Alright, so the Vorapede is going to be able to block, but we can still try and get in with our Undying creatures. I think we want to stay on the aggressive plan rather than stay back and block, because Vorapede has trample anyway. So I'm going to probably play the Moss Dog here. If I wanted to play the Vine Lasher, I should have kept the land in hand, but it's better to use all our mana every turn. So I'm gonna drop the Moss Dog, get a +1/+1 counter, but I'm not gonna attack with the champion quite yet. And attack with our Undying creatures, get 1 damage in, and get ourselves a 3/2 Strangleroot Geist. Alright, so if he attacks next turn with the Vorapede, what's the plan? Interesting, so maybe he's got something planned for the Strangleroot Geist, or he just doesn't want to give us a 3/2. But that's a nice synergy with the champion, is that Undying creatures come back onto the battlefield and trigger a champion again. So this champion is gonna get big enough for us to get through the Vorapede. It's, let's see, power, so as long as our champion has, well, now it's gonna be 6. So it's not gonna be easy. Let's see, do we have an attack over there? Probably not gonna block. But because otherwise this gets Undying as well. Alright, nice. So no play from the opponent. And now the question is Vine Lasher or Moss Dog, and seems pretty obvious to play the Moss Dog here. And then our champion will be a 4/4. And then I guess we can... What does Vigor do again? If the... Yeah, that's annoying. Although this is sort of a nombo with Undying, because Undying says if a creature with Undying dies while it doesn't have a, then put it so basically if we put some counters on Vorapede and then it dies, then it won't come back. So that's at least good for us. But it's still not gonna be easy to get through all these fatties. Let's see what happens if we attack with the two small guys. Then he just blocks one with Vigor, one with the Vorapede. The Vorapede gets bigger. We get one back with Undying. Champion gets another counter. And then... I think... Because if we don't attack here, it's gonna take 2 more turns for Champion to be big enough. And he might also have removal in the form of Prey Upon. So I think I want to stay a little aggressive here. I think this is the attack. And let's find out what happens. He could just not block the Strangleroot Geist and only block the Young Wolf, which would be fine. And hopefully if we draw a land we can put a 4/4 instant beast token on the battlefield. Alright, it's going for the block on both creatures. So we'll get another counter on the champion. The Vorapede though is very big now. So we have to be careful that we don't die. If he has an overrun here, we might actually be in trouble. The problem again with Vorapede is that now it is bigger than the champion, so it will be able to block, but I'm not sure that's gonna happen. Nope, no attacks. Alright, so we're not gonna die, but we're not in a great spot. We did draw another 2-drop, which is nice, because now we can think... Let me see here. I want to make sure that I don't mess this up. Can't block creatures you control, so we don't have to attack with the champion. But we can, because it can't be blocked. So if we draw both 2-drops here, our champion's gonna be a 7/7. And it's less than. So the Vorapede will still be able to block the champion and or other creatures, but Vigor and the spider won't be able to block. So that means that this goes over there, and then we get through for 9 points of damage. And then he's forced to block with Vorapede, but the damage is prevented by Vigor. Yeah, I didn't think this through enough. So the Vorapede won't actually die because the damage is prevented. So that means that I'm gonna wait a turn. Yeah, I think I just have to wait another turn here. Hope he doesn't have overrun. Because if I would attack now, he can just put this in front of this. And he gets a giant Vorapede. And then we only get through for 9 points. Which isn't enough, unfortunately. So no attacks. Yeah, champion's an interesting card for sure. Probably didn't give it enough credit at first. But it's got some nice synergies in this deck. So what happens if he casts an overrun? Are we just dead? Think we can survive. but I'm not sure we can win the turn after. I'm hoping he just passes the turn and we draw a land, so we can drop Beast Attack and prevent him from blocking. We are running 25 lands in this deck because there's no ramp and... Alright, interesting. So Regal Force is gonna draw him a bunch of cards. Hopefully he doesn't have a Prey Upon. He could still cast it here. No attacks and no Prey Upon, that's good. And there's a land, so let's drop this, grow our Vinyl Lasher, drop our Beast token, make the champion an 8/8, and now we can attack without getting blocked, and that should do it. Just in case, leave some blockers. Is there something for 1 green? There's no fog. So yeah, this should do it. If I read this card properly. Alright, and there we go. So unfortunately we didn't draw our doubling season, but I'm gonna try and make a little clip at the end to show you what shenanigans you can do with the card. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a nice day.